So guys, now we're on to our next destination. You pointed there, I pointed here. Yeah, I know that. So the reason we are here, guys, is to show you a couple of monuments around Abu Dhabi. Now, you might have seen the last video where we show you 5 funky buildings. And how this is different is that we are now not filming any buildings, however we are filming monuments. And we'll show you 5 most interesting monuments in Abu Dhabi.
So we are standing here just next to the Louvre Museum, like the one in Paris. This is one they built here in Abu Dhabi. They brought part of the collection they have there, and it's an effort to bring more culture to Abu Dhabi. It's actually on the Saadiyat Island. It is said to develop a number of museums like the Maritime Museum, an Opera House, the Guggenheim Museum as well. So it's a comprehensive project encompassing many art styles and cultural offers for the residents and visitors of Abu Dhabi. So one of the facts is it has a huge dome that represents a fishing net that is typical of the tradition of the region, fishing out in the sea. And facts on it, it has more than 400,000 steel members, the whole structure, and it looks like it's hovering over the water. So I think that's really cool.
So guys, the fact that I found most interesting about the Louvre Abu Dhabi is that the dome structure is equal in weight to the Eiffel Tower in Paris. And to me, that is just an interesting element that connects the two cultures, the French in Paris as well, the one here in Abu Dhabi, not only through the structure of the building, but also through the museum in itself.
For me, one interesting fact of the fort is before they wouldn't have a door and stairs to go up the fort, the tower, so they will actually be climbing the tower. And that must have been really hard, especially during the summer in Abu Dhabi. Something I really like of this place, it makes me feel the care for their own heritage. They preserve all these huge blocks for the palace of the fort. Something makes me feel is pride for how they preserve their heritage and their culture. They're preserving all these forts and all these square, even being in the Abu Dhabi downtown. So I'm really proud about that.
So one fact that I think is pretty interesting about Qasr al-Husn is the fact that whatever you see here was built in the 1960s after the oil boom. And what was before in this place is just this tower that is not the one that you see on the left, but the one right in the middle. And that was built in the 1700s. This square makes me feel really connected to not just part of our history, but part of our culture, because this monument connects these elements in this historical building, as well as the cultural foundation you see right there, and as well as modern arts. So guys, I'm gonna try to keep my balance on this handrail while telling you about the monuments right behind me. Now, we've covered some of the parts, some of the buildings here, like Etihad Towers, which are pretty interesting. But what we are here to show is specifically the palaces. And this area, you can see both marvelous, fantastic palaces. One of them is called the Emirates Palace. And it's this very deep, rich, brown-red color. From the inside, it's just marvelous, filled with all these golden elements. And moving on to the next palace, now both of them are fantastic, but the newly opened Qasr al-Watan, which is right over there at that end, which I also covered on one of the videos here, is just fascinating. It's mind-blowing how beautiful it is, and how grand, how luxurious it is, and how much it speaks of the country of the UAE. Now, Qasr al-Watan means the palace of the nation. But I would like to share with you one interesting fact that I found really interesting about this palace, and that is that it has one of the widest domes in the world. And what this palace makes me feel is, it makes me feel honestly grand. Like, it makes me feel, when I walk into the door, I just feel important, you know?
Should I also try to balance myself?
Up to you.
Am I gonna fall?
Okay, do your thing.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
One of the most impressive things is Emirates Palace isn't as it has such a high luxury that some people call it the 7-star hotel. I went there and I asked the people in the reception if it was a 7-star hotel. They told me it's a 5+, like extra luxury. So I asked them the range of prices of the rooms. It ranges from 2,700 at the smallest room to 100,000 dirhams per night. One way the Emirates Palace makes me feel is not only a sense of grandeur, but also invited. It is open for anyone who's wearing proper attire. Like I wouldn't be able to go in if I have shorts, for example.
Yeah.
So anyone, it's free access, it's free parking. You can go there and enjoy. That's really cool.
The fourth monument that is pretty interesting here in Abu Dhabi is the Founders Memorial. It was designed by a very famous artist called Ralph Hemlick, and the inspiration behind this constellation, it's called the Constellation, is that at night it shows the face of the founder of the UAE, Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. Moreover, seeing it at night is actually pretty impressive, as the lights, when they hit from below, they show these elements that are actually called the Platonic solids, known to be very famous specific geometrical shapes. One of them you'll know is the cube, for example. But that is it. Let's go to the next one. And here it is, finally, monument number 5. Actually, it's more of a combination. Obviously, I couldn't leave it out. It's the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque. Now, this is a mosque, obviously, but it's also a monument. It kind of resembles what Abu Dhabi is for people that are visiting here for the first time. Moreover, some interesting facts, you can find them in the video that I covered about Sheikh Zayed Mosque here in the channel. In combination with that, there's another monument called Wahat al-Karama, which in English translates to the Oasis of Dignity. Again, it's one of those monuments I've actually covered here on the channel, so you can check it out. Briefly about it, it's a monument that commemorates the martyrs of this country. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Boom.
You know something funny? It wasn't recording.
It wasn't really?
I'm sorry, like, it wasn't recording, so
Take two.
take 2.
It's recording now, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, can you check if the audio is recording? Shut up, truck.